Today, I want us to look at credit card fundamentals that may save you money, stress, and many sleepless nights. And this program comes to you with a kind compliment of smart investment decisions. So I want to show you on today's topic, credit card fundamentals. We are going to be uncovering some very important concepts that you don't want to miss. All right. I want to show you, stay with me. We're going to be talking about the fundamentals of credit card. And if you are to commit the talent, and the resources to learn, apply, and master these systems that we're going to be talking about, I promise you, it's going to save you a lot of money, a lot of stress, and a lot of sleepless nights. But just before we get to this program, I want to welcome each and every one of you from wherever you're viewing this program from to another broadcast of Smart Investment Decisions. I want to encourage you to smash the like button, subscribe, and share this podcast on YouTube and all the other platform that you're going to be seeing in this platform. So you can help me put this content in front of the right audience and help to save more people in the world. Now, our mission here is transforming the world one business at a time. All right, transforming the world one business at a time. But just before I get into today's program, I want to share some of my experiences with you. For many years now, that's long before we did that research, I asked myself, why do people buy debt? Can you answer this? Why do people buy debt? And I came up with two answers. One, people buy debt to support a lifestyle. And secondly, people buy debt to accumulate wealth. My vision is to help you do the latter. But I want to tell you a story. I have a friend, and he's very comical, and he's sharing a story with me. And his belief is that most men see themselves as the tomcat, and in his view, they take that to chase after fat cats, whatever that means. Um, that's his interpretation of why most men takes money. On the flip side of that, what he said is that most women take a debt or buy a debt to invest in the Kim Kardashian looks. Now, I'm not here to tell you whether you should not invest in the Kim Kardashian looks or whether you should not chase after fat cats. I'm here just to say that there's a right way and there's a wrong way of doing things. And today, I really want us to sink into the right ways of doing things. Now, this is what I want to say. There's a concept that we call good debt and bad debt. And there are major differences between good debt and bad debt. And let me give an example. You see, good debt puts money into your pocket, and bad debt takes monies away from you. So you want to learn as much as you can learn to ensure that you are leveraging debt in the right manner so as to ensure it is putting monies into your pockets continuously. The ability to leverage debt to accumulate wealth is a major game changer. And you stick with me throughout our broadcast and on this platform, and I will continue to give you groundbreaking techniques, that can really transform the way you do business, the way you spend money, the way you invest money. Because our mission here is to transform the world, one business, one person at a time. The mission of 10X Branding and Marketing LLC out of New York and Pitch Deck 101, and they sponsor this program. The mission aims to support our clients to better understand debt, better understand how to leverage financial instruments, and better understand how to mitigate debt so as to accumulate wealth within the shortest possible time. The mission of these organizations, one, is to support our clients to understand financial instruments, meaning debt, equity, credit, hard money lending, and creative financing, to help our clients to access financial instruments. Visit us on Pitch Deck 101 to learn more about the financial instruments that we are helping clients to access. We are also supporting clients to leverage financial instruments. You want to know how to leverage, so you don't want to miss out on this. So check those platforms to learn more about what we are doing. Last but not least, we are supporting clients to mitigate debt. This is a powerful body of knowledge for you to have, whether you're in business, whether you're investors, or whether you're taking steps to position yourself to become financially independent. We have a very strong financial business ecosystem to share with you. So again, today we are looking at credit card fundamentals, and I'm going to be covering some concepts that is very, very important to you who are using credit cards. And what I want to say to you today is that today in the United States alone, we have over 70% of the American population that is using a credit card. We have over 34% of that population that has between 3 to 4 credit cards. And we have over 53% of the population that are using credit card that needs help in debt mitigation. So what I'm about to go into today is going to really help you to think through the process before you go and you buy debt, before you invest in debt. You want to ensure that you're making smart investment decision, and we are here to point you in the right direction. Remember, again, this is a disclaimer. This is not investment advice. When you come to us and we have a one-on-one interaction with you, yes, we'll give you advice. We'll point you in the right direction. And we are helping so much of individuals develop their strategic plans to build wealth. We're helping so many businesses access capital and scale their operation. And we'd be more than happy to work with you to ensure that you're getting the right information. So let's get it going. Let's get the ball rolling. We're talking today about credit card fundamentals. There are 7 important concepts that I want you to take away here today as we talk about credit cards fundamental. In today's program, we will talk about the statement. We'll talk about the balance. We'll talk about the billing cycle, the open and close date. We'll talk about the due date, and we'll talk about the minimum balance due. This program, I promise you, is not going to be long. It's going to be a short program, but I'm going to cover a number of important issues that you want to know. Now, let's go in. Let's get going. What exactly is the statement? Once you are a credit card holder, a statement is generated every month. And that statement is sent to your home address. But when you get that statement, what is it that statement is saying to you? Do you know how to read the statement? Now, I'm posting these questions because of the reason that we are seeing a number of persons, a number of our clients, they have the statement, but they don't really understand the statement. So I want to point out to you a couple of things that you want to be looking for when you get that statement. First of all is what I'm going to call your credit limit. As you get your statement, you want to constantly be reminded of your credit limit. Why? Because if you don't know your credit limit, you're likely to spend above your utilization ratio, and that can create some challenge for you. So the first thing that you want to focus on and constantly be remember of this is your credit limit. The second thing from that statement is what we call the credit utilization. All right, credit utilization. And this is something that you just don't want to take lightly. It's very, very important that you take the time to understand what I'm saying here. The last thing that you want to take away from the statement is what we call the credit line remaining balance. All right, the credit card remaining balance. Now, I'm going to touch base very briefly on each of the 7 areas. I just give you an overview of what the statement represents to me. And I will now go through this entire process. So let's go to the next step in balance. What is it that balance means to you? I'm going to talk about this again because what I'm seeing is that many persons that gets a statement and looks at the balance, they're not able to clearly distinguish whether they are looking at outstanding balance or remaining balance. And guess what happens? In most cases, you see the balance has the remaining balance. So when you see the remaining balance look high, you get excited and you spend again, and then you get into trouble. So it's important to take the time to distinguish between what is the open balance and what is the remaining balance. You want to understand this. Sorry, outstanding balance and remaining balance. There's a major distinction between the two. And if you're a credit card user, you need to ensure that you have this body of knowledge that is helping you to make informed and educated decisions as you leverage the credit card. If you do not understand this, it's going to set you up for trouble down the road. And as we talk about, you're going to have stress. You're going to be paying a lot of money unnecessarily. You're going to have sleepless nights. Our mission here is to provide you with a content of information that will seek to help you to prevent that from happening. All right. The third thing that I want to look at here is the billing cycle. What exactly does the billing cycle means to you? Yes, the billing cycle represents the open and the close date. But what exactly is this saying? Let us do a deep dive here. The open date is really the period that you should start spending. This is a time when you should start spending your available balance. The issue here is, do you spend above the 30% or not? Those are questions that I will answer when I understand your specific case. All right, because if you are not in a position of strength to go above the 30% utilization, my advice to you is that don't go beyond it. But this is the period that you can spend. All right. Most people do not know what's the best time to start using their credit line to spend. The close date is the period when you should be thinking about stopping all spending. Stopping all spending. This is a period when you should stop spending. So there's a period where you should spend, and there's a period that you should stop spending. There's a third concept that I want you to take away here when it comes to the billing cycle. And of course, these things that we're digging into, I have never heard anybody else on anyone on the social media going this deep into the credit card fundamentals so as to ensure that you understand it. So I really take that you're taken away from what I'm saying here. So when it comes to the billing cycle, we cover 2 points: when to start spending and when to stop spending. There's a third concept that I want you to consider here: when to replenish the credit line down to 29%. All right, when to replenish the credit card line of credit down to 29%. I'm just going to be brief here. There are many persons, as you have that credit card, you're spending and you're spending above your 30% utilization ratio. Now, if you go beyond this close date and you're above your 30% utilization, you have issues here. All right. Here is where you can have utilization ratio being reported to the credit reporting agencies, and it will affect your FICO score. So these are important concepts for you to really stop, pause, take the time, get to understand it, and then you start the process of spending. All right. So if you need help, you know what to do. I also want to talk about the sixth concept here, which we call the due date. What exactly does the due date means to you? The due date is very important for you to understand The due date is where you should bring the balance down to zero in order to avoid what we call balance carried over, or APR. All right. So the last concept I talk about the close date. I talk about bringing down your utilization to below 30%, below 39%. So I'm now talking about the due date. Now, most people see the due date, and again, the due date is just the date to pay your minimum balance. And I look at these two now. What the due date means is that if you are utilizing the card, your credit line, the due date is the date to pay your balance down to zero in order to avoid balance carried over and APR. APR meaning annual percentage rate. All right. Later on, we'll go into the calculation to really help you to understand the annual percentage rate, so you understand the entire mechanics behind using a credit card. The last concept I'm going to be looking at today is what we call the minimum balance due. Now, this is what happened. Most person may see in the statement the minimum balance on, let us say you have a debt of $1,000. You utilize your credit line up to $1,000. You're seeing that your minimum balance due on the due date might be $25. And what you do, you get excited and you say, hey, I'm just going to pay $25, which is the minimum balance due. But guess what? $975 becomes the balance carried over. And because it becomes the balance carried over, from the time that you pass your due date, APR is applied instantly. There's no ifs and buts about this. There's no dancing around this or dancing out of it. APR will be applied. So minimum balance should be read as follow: the least amount to pay to avoid derogatory. Now, the other thing that happens here, if you fail to pay the least amount and it becomes a mispayment, you can get derogatory marks. I'll go deeper into that as time progresses. Derogatory will show up on your FICO, and all the credit institutions, before they allocate any funding to you, they're going to run your FICO. And when this shows up, guess what? It's going to prevent you from accessing capital. So these are the fundamentals, the 7 fundamentals about credit card that you really want to take the time, take stock of it. Spend some time, look over this video a few times, make sure you understand exactly what I'm saying. If you need help, reach out to me. The numbers are scrolled at the bottom of your screen. I'd be happy to talk with you at this moment. Some of you can call. I mean, if you don't have we just want to support you. So reach out to me. Take this opportunity between now and the end of the year to reach out to me. It's Christmas, so we're going to pretend that we're Santa Claus for a period of time. So reach out to us. So we cover a couple of important concepts here, right? On the credit card fundamental. We talk about the statement. We say that the statement, in our view, represent, and I trust in your view, it is representing the credit limit. It's representing the credit utilization, and is also representing credit line remaining balance. You want to know that. The balance in itself, you want to be clear in terms of whether you're looking at your outstanding balance or the remaining balance. You want to be able to distinguish between these two, because this also gets people into a lot of trouble. The billing cycle, we talk about when to start spending, when to stop spending, and when to replenish the credit line down to 29%. We went on to also talk about the due date, and this is bringing the balance down to zero to avoid balance carried over and APR. Last, we spoke about minimum balance due, which is the least amount that you can pay to avoid derogatory if it becomes a late payment. So I promise you that today's program would not have been long. It's a short program. It's just about 20 minutes. But I trust that you had a lot of notes and nuggets to take away in today's program. Now, remember, this program comes to you with the kind compliments of Global 10X Branding and Marketing LLC out of New York. And I want to encourage you to take the time and visit our website to learn a little bit more about what we do. I'm going to put up 2 websites. If you want to learn about our financial instruments and some of our branding and marketing tool, I want to encourage you to visit the site that you're seeing right there on your screen. And if you want to know more about what we do in terms of real estate and management, portfolio management, I want you to also visit the next site. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Help to push this algorithm. Help me do that so we can reach more people and provide these content to persons to help them to make what? Smart investment decisions. So there you had it. We now come to the end of today's program. We'll do this again very soon. So follow my YouTube page and press the bell so you will be notified whenever I'm out and you'll be the first to get these programs. Remember, don't forget to like, leave a note if you have questions on, personal credit, business credit. Leave those questions. I will definitely respond to you, or I'll bring topic on those areas so I can help you to better fast track your learning in these areas. All right. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the self-published author for several books, including 10X Branding and Marketing Blueprint. So be blessed, enjoy the rest of your day, and do prepare to start enjoying the holiday ahead of you. We'll do this again soon. Goodbye.